Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alexandra Njie. I am a senior health services management student, and today I'll be presenting on the religion Zoroastrianism, and I'll be going over the religious development over time, which is how it began, how it developed historically, what it looks like in modern times, and the conflicts and challenges they face now. So, beginning in its origins and early development, Zoroastrianism was actually the world's first monotheistic religion, meaning that it was the first religion that believed in one and only true God. It was originally founded by an ancient Iran prophet. His name was Zarathustra, and this was founded back in 1500 BCE, which was founded in Greater Iran. So, one significant thing about it is that many of its beliefs, teachings, and customs actually influence other religions that are still very significant today, including Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, because again, most of these religions are monotheistic. Um, the main teachings of this religion was developing a thought of good, a belief of good, being good, having good thoughts, good words, and good deeds. Um, they mainly deciphered between good and evil. So they had deities to represent this, which included Ahura Mazda, which was the deity that embodied goodness, versus Angra Mainyu, which embodied evil. So similar to other religions like that embody like yin and yang or good versus evil, this is their representation of it. In their scriptures and texts, which are the beliefs and their texts that they upheld, that they continued throughout a liturgical context, was Avesta, which was a biblical collection of texts, and we will go through those now. The Gathas were mainly their prayers and teachings, so these were hymns that they used to just focus on Zarathustra's beliefs and his stance, I would say, on the religion, just what they should know, how they should live by him. Um, yeah. Yasna was their liturgical text used in daily rituals, so their daily customs, that's what they would use through life, daily life. Vendidad, a code of purity laws and regulations, similar to, I would say, kind of like the Ten Commandments. These were laws and regulations that they followed to remain good, like I stated earlier, just kind of making sure they're following more of Ahara rather than Agatha. Um, the yachts, I hope I'm saying that right, hymns dedicated to deities and divine beings of the religion. So all of these comprised of the Avesta, which was language and text that they followed. So going into more of its development, Islamic capture and decline between 630 and 655 BC, the Muslim conquest, the military conquest of Persia, caused the decline of the Sasanian Empire, which is basically where Zoroastrianism resided. So this led it to the religious subjugation called demi status, which is basically they were granted freedom of worship, but there were still a lot of persecutions, a lot of discriminatory practices that caused them to feel limited within their religion. And they also had imposed taxation on worshipers, unfortunately. So as we see from the author Dalla, the Zoroastrians, after the downfall of the Sasanian kingdom, were reduced to the position of dhimmis. So they were tolerated in their religion, but they were subjected to the payment of the taxation, and they were also oppressed and harassed, like I stated. So, of course, this would cause many to flee and go where they are. Respected and where they can freely worship and where they have that religious freedom. So this caused that nation to crumble and for them to flee to other countries and migrate to like India to preserve their identity and also the origins of their religion. So This is kind of how the religion spread and how it developed over time. So going into contemporary Zoroastrianism, it is a global religion. However, the number of participants and worshipers is declining rapidly. As we know, there are hundreds of religions across the globe, and the reason behind its decline is the dropping birth rate, endogamy, and conversion. So I would say as society continues to evolve and changes continue to happen, which I will get more into in this slide, religious worshipers are finding other religions that they may fit more into, or they may identify with more. So, for example, I'll get into the next slide, but gender roles is a big part of that. So, as we see, the numbers are rapidly declining, but that's most likely due to the origins and the beliefs of this religion and whether or not that fits into society's standards and current evolution today. So the current population is between 100 to 130,000. Still, like I said, on a global scale, but it's still very small compared to other religions. The current significant locations are Iran, India, and Pakistan. However, of course, there are worshipers all over the globe, including America, Britain, and Australia. They still participate in daily rituals. One significant one is the Casti ritual, which protects believers against negativity. So still following the three goods, the good thoughts, good deeds, and yeah. So getting into their conflicts and challenges. In today's society, there are prevalent debates on the future state of Zoroastrianism. Like I said, many worshipers and believers are converting to other religions, or they're just choosing not to worship at all. So, in the research text on the state and prospects of the study of Zoroastrianism, the author, Miss M. Stossberg, says that the very survival of Zoroastrianism as a living religion is often questioned, given the combination of demographic weakness, internal conflicts, and the pressures of globalization. So, as I stated before, earlier, they had to migrate due to their limitations when it came to worshiping. Um, so, Zoroastrianism is all over, but there isn't a significant set location of worshipers, meaning they don't have as much of a built-in community of worshipers like they did earlier in its development, which is no competition for other significant religions in those areas. Um, as well as internal conflicts. Like I stated earlier, gender roles, especially in today's society, society is continuing to evolve. Many women are learning that they can do things outside of the home. And this doesn't necessarily fall within Zoroastrianism's beliefs, does it? Um, so pressures of globalization, pressures to evolve, pressures of whether this religion is fit in today's society. There are many ongoing conversations that continue to divide the community, and then societal conversion pressures also negatively impact the declining religion. So, as I stated earlier, there are other religions within these regions, other religions that may fit beliefs of today. So many worshipers and believers are finding those other religions, learning more about them, and learning that there are other avenues to take. So unfortunately, this is rapidly declining. This is my bibliography of my text, as well as my visuals in this PowerPoint. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation, and have a great day.